order. If you are able, please rise and remove cover. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Moving to number 2, approval of the June meeting agenda. Does anybody have any changes? Anything to add? Remove? Pull? Additional? Okay, but it's on the agenda, right? Okay, yeah, I got an email that it was added already. Okay, anything besides that that's already been added?
Move approval.
Okay, first by Brian, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dalton, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, approve the consent agenda. Anybody want anything pulled for discussion, anything to add, anything subtract, or discussion? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Paul, can I get a second?
Support.
Thank you, Brian. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff's report.
Good evening. So last month in May of this year, we had considerable amount again, busier for more calls for service than last year's May. So just some notable things from last month. We had one stop arm violation in the township. That one was, we were unable to identify due to no license plate or not matching license plate given by the bus company. The theft that's listed ended up, it was just a pair of shorts from the Ann Lake Beach, so nothing too significant. The assault ended up being at a private residence, so no danger to the public, and the arrest was made in that instance. Disturbing the peace, we had a couple calls regarding individuals at Getaway Bar, one of which the mail was removed and trespassed from the bar. Otherwise, no assaults or anything like that involved with those. There was one motor vehicle accident, just property damage only. No injury accidents last month, which is good. That property damage accident ended up being at County Road 10 and 180th Street. And that was just a single vehicle that left the roadway, lost control. There was no injuries, no public damage, just the car was damaged from going down in the ditch. The other 2 accidents listed are vehicle versus animals, so car versus deers, which are very, very common throughout the county all year long. Dog bite listed, we had one in the township, which that dog, during investigation with deputies, the dog ended up being deemed potentially dangerous, so it has certain restrictions on it. That's also very, very common throughout the county. The traffic complaint, the garbage littering. So there was one garbage littering complaint last month that ended up being a series of 3 tires that were dumped at the intersection by 190th Street and 234th Avenue. We did have a vehicle description. The neighbors thought they saw a red truck that had backed up and dumped the tires. Other than that, nothing being dumped as far as furniture and stuff like that in the state forest, which is nice for this last month. ATV complaints, those were all complaints or stops made by deputies on individuals riding on a county road ditch in the right of way, which you can't do all summer until August. So typically we try to stop those guys when we see them and just educate them on that. Most people aren't, I guess, aware of that between April and August. You can't ride ATVs in any ditches in Sherman County. Other than that, any questions or things that I can pass along to the sheriff's office?
Anybody?
What about it? Yeah.
Death investigation that ended up being just natural causes.
Any other questions? I'll open it up. Any questions from anybody out here for the sheriff? Nope, hearing none. Okay,
Thanks, Ebony.
thank you very much. We'll now move to open forum. Business presented during open forum will be limited to 3 minutes per person. The board reserves the right to defer any action on business presented during open forum. State your full name and address for the record. Keep everything in statement form. Questions may be submitted in writing for future board consideration. Once your time is up, any further interaction will be initiated only by the board. I have a timer set for 3 minutes with a green button ready to go. Do I have anybody for open forum? This is your chance. Anybody for open forum? Third call for open forum. Hearing none, moving on. Item number 6, approval of meeting minutes for the May monthly meeting. Any changes or additions or subtractions from the minutes that haven't already been presented to Madam Clerk for changes? Hearing none, can I get a motion? Okay, got a motion from Peter. Gotta get a second.
I'll second.
Second from Dalton. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 7, regular business. State demographic 2025 population and building estimates. This is in our packet. They're required by law to conduct an annual population and household estimates for Minnesota cities and townships. I want to switch over to the next. There's the clerk. Okay. So for April 1st of 2025, it was 3,824 people and 1,376 households. It's just an FYI. Any comments? Hearing none, moving on. B, Resolution 2026-6A, a resolution appointing election judges for the 2026 primary election. Madam Clerk.
Motion to adopt resolution 2026, typo. 6, resolution appointing election judges for the 2026 primary election to be held on August 11th, 2026. Election judges must be appointed by the board at least 25 days prior to the election. I put together a list of individuals who have asked to work with us, and I need you guys to pass them.
Are they pretty much the same as previous years?
There's a couple new ones.
Something new?
And of course, we have balance between parties.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I think that we could, I would make a motion that we approve them all. Oh, you want, but as all, as a set, not individually, yes? Okay. As presented. So first by Paul, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Dalton, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll have to bring a paper at the end. Each one of us will need to sign that. Okay. Item number C, ADA compliance. Madam Clerk.
So I attended the MAC legal seminar, and it is going to be mandatory that all our websites and any social media interaction we have is, but specifically the websites will have to be ADA accessible, compliant. So what that means, and they did give us a grace period, because it was supposed to be like next month, but now it's until April 26, 2028. But we need to decide what we're going to do. A compliant website must be designed to accommodate assistive technologies like screen readers, alternative navigation methods. Key technical fixes include alternative text, keyboard navigation, color contrast, captioning, transcripts, and clear structure. What that means is when, say, somebody is deaf and you have a reader that tells them, reads it for them, or not deaf, if somebody's blind and they have somebody reading it for them. So we have to have a description under every picture. Our PDF files don't work, because the reader doesn't recognize it as such. So you have to actually, so every single one of our minutes, everything we have on our website that's PDF, that's gonna have to be changed.
Is it day forward, or do you have to go back and do all the historical documents?
Well, if it's anything that's gonna be on the website, it's gonna have to be ADA compatible. So we're gonna have to decide, and I've got more research to do, I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention, that there's a lot to it, and we're gonna have to do more research, and we're gonna have to figure out what we wanna do, because there's a lot of townships that are not even gonna bother having them anymore, they're just gonna use their Facebook pages. Even that might be a problem, they haven't decided yet.
What other format can you use?
Well, there's a way that you can type in a file, so that when you read it, when the reader reads it, it'll bring it forward. But so, right now, PDF doesn't work like that.
You have to label it in parentheses at least so it's a PDF. So if you're looking at that document, when the reader reads it, and you have the PDF behind it, it'll read it as a PDF, so they're aware. They have to either open it or something so that it can read something later on.
So it's more acute to the person who's looking at
And who's having that
read
when
to
they
them, to
kind
know
of-
there has to be an action taken
Right.
to click on that to bring it up so that their reader can read it.
And then if you have a picture out on the website, you need to explain what it is that, say it's a child on a swing at a park. You describe what that is so they have an idea of what that picture is on the website. A picture of the town hall, those kind of things.
All of
And
your,
that's, all of it needs to be,
all of your newsletter goes to Word documents. They won't be PDFs anymore. That'll be like kind of a big change, which isn't a big deal, but
Our
Maybe not.
videos have to be captured.
But I think
That can be done by technology already.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that easily.
But
as
that's
long
just
as
another
you're
thing.
speaking directly in so it captures it better, so that even audience can hear you. You know, so then that will actually pick up more of yours. But if you're talking sideways, sometimes it may not pick it up. If her and I are talking and the speaker's over here, comparing to talking towards the front where your microphone.
Well, I know Becker Township right now,
Some of
their
that's-
meetings are all captioned.
Mhm.
So, because the technology they're using for their meetings live, it's all captioned at the bottom of their
So as long as
screens.
the microphones
Yeah.
are picking it up and stuff, then I can.
Mhm. So whatever they're using, it's already doing it.
So Kelly's actually worked with this a little bit in her previous job, so she's got some ideas. And we will probably have to simplify the website.
Mhm.
We don't need 3,000 stack minutes and things like that on
that's
So-
what I was gonna say.
there. Yeah.
Ann brought up a good question. When we decide to do this, can we make it in the resolution beginning this date and not have to go back decades?
We'll just have to take them off of the website.
You could take them off, but I think we can actually put something on there, in that form, to request data not here, please contact the clerk. Then they can call you or email you or however, and then you'd be able to pull it from another server or whatever we have, it's a storage thing. So, and we would rotate, we would do that, so that minutes and agendas are available. It's gonna be work, but
But how often are we gonna get one from 3 years ago request?
yeah, probably not very
Yeah.
much. So, and if we do find something that moves forward, like, and again, I can only say what I've seen done by Becker Township. Their stuff's recorded, it has the stuff on the bottom already, the transcript is there, their videos have the transcript in it. Day forward, I think the technology's there to make it happen. Going backwards will be our issue.
Or can you charge them for going, that's the question I have. Like we do charge for other things that we have to research and supply, we know there's a cost to that, besides the township's cost. I just think it wouldn't hurt to ask those kind of questions too.
Most townships that I've spoken to are planning to go into an extremely simplified version.
Yeah, that's what,
So it's just gonna basically be, everything's just gonna say, please contact Cory.
Yep.
And as unfortunate as it is, it's gonna basically kill the former Senate.
Okay. To be continued. Okay. Regular business item number D, Ann Lake update. So we did not have discussion at the May meeting as Paul was not available and specifically requested that he be here for that. So we are jumping backwards to April and picking up from there. At the April meeting, there was a discussion about getting some clarification from our attorney on several issues. That was completed before the May meeting, but again, we held off on it. Those letters are in the packet. Specifically, issues around building, pay boxes, and such. Has everybody had a chance to read those letters? Were those letters sent, those letters were sent to Ann Lake or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, in short, there's the letters. Everybody's had a, who wants to start the discussion? Anything? In short, our lawyer was very clear on the questions that we asked. And I think there was 3 letters that he sent us on 3 separate issues, and he kept them separate. Ownership of the shed, the short answer, or the answer was the conclusion, the shed constructed by the club is a fixture that became part of Orrock Township's real estate upon installation. Under Minnesota law, the club has no ownership interest in the shed or the land, and the lawful termination of the lease extinguished any possessory rights the club previously held. The township retains full ownership of both the land and all permanent improvements made during the lease. Letter number 2, the conclusion, the question was, Township has inquired whether the Ann Lake Improvement Club is allowed to install donation boxes on the Ann Lake Park property with the understanding that any funds received would be considered a donation to the club. His answer was, I would recommend against allowing the Ann Lake Improvement Club to install and maintain donation boxes on the township property. There is a prohibition on fundraising and solicitation of donations. Gifts to municipalities, 465.03, and there's a long discussion about that. There's a violation of the public purpose doctrine, which we didn't know we were doing. And as such, he recommends follow the guidance of the state auditor, the Minnesota Attorney General Office, and not allow the club to install donation boxes within Ann Lake Park to solicit funds for their activities. And item number 3, the discussion on renewing the park use agreement between the township and the Ann Lake Improvement Club. At the end, there was 3 points that he made. They were made there. And most importantly, moving to DNR ownership of the park property would allow the club to focus on its primary goal of maintaining the Ann Lake's water quality, managing aquatic invasive species, managing the aeration system, and other water quality initiatives rather than maintaining the park property. There's many more words than that, but, in short, he recommends that we move forward with giving the land to the DNR.
So we have the agreement in there that he marked up. Was that just if we went with the old agreement?
That
Was
wasn't him. He actually is
Okay.
adamantly opposed.
I know that, and then I seen afterwards was an edited version of.
That was something that Brian did,
Okay.
and I'm not sure how it got here or how that came about, but
Well, let me address that if we may. If my memory is right, either a couple of meetings ago, the Ann Lake Association indicated they had the financial resources to continue the agreement. They were looking at either a 5 or a 10-year agreement because they had the funds secured. Is that still the case? So you do have the funds available and and you're looking for your 5 or 10-year agreement. My memory serves me correctly then, and that's why I drafted this agreement. It's pretty much the previous agreement except for 2 changes. One has to do with, there was some concern with liability with a shed, and we've added a indemnification clause in there. The Ann Lake Association is to indemnify us and hold harmless for any incidents that happen on the shed. And the other change has to do with the termination of the contract. I've added to the point where it's a 5-year agreement that's self-renewing unless either party has an objection, and if they do, then we sit and meet and confer. I'm looking at this from more of a historical perspective and then somewhat of a moral perspective. There's no question that Ann Lake built the shed. They financed it and built it. At that time, the Orrock Town Hall encouraged the shed to be built. In fact, they actually secured the building permit so it could happen.
well, they had to legally because an association could not get a building permit because they didn't own the land.
But you're right, but again, the township not encouraged them to do it because they had to get the permit. So, and I feel it's not appropriate if the Ann Lake Association had changed their stance on the financing, and obviously their previous request gave everybody here a heartburn. But once they've changed their stance and they do have the finances, I think that obligates us to kind of review our position as well. We have not heard from the DNR. They say, well, just be patient with us, but that could be
Well,
a long
we
time.
have heard, and they are still working on it, and they did have, Tim did retire, and I have been in contact with the new person. Very simply, yes, I'm aware of it, we are still moving through the process. Yeah, nothing's changed. I mean, it is a process. So, but there is nothing with the change of Tim to her has changed their position on.
Well, they
wanting to
want it,
acquire.
it's just it takes, the DNR
Government takes time.
Takes time.
Government takes time.
The other thing, what was my other point? The township obviously helped them along with it to build the shed. And to me, I'm not comfortable pulling the rug out from underneath them. They built it, we helped them do it. All of a sudden, we're saying, well, things have changed. It's our property, how do you know it's? I'm not sure that's a proper stance for this board. So I'd like to offer this proposed agreement. In fact, I'll make the motion that we authorize this proposed agreement with the changes. I'll make that motion.
Okay? Is there a second?
Can we have further discussion
We
first?
cannot, without a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Discussion?
So I know we had the question of, if we did give this to the DNR, do they have any appetite or ability to let them keep the shed? Because I think that's a huge thing here. Because I understand your point completely, Brian. They paid for it, there's no question here, no one's disputing that. To me, if they're able to keep the ability to use that shed for the aerator and or I guess they don't need the docking board, but especially the aerator, and then using it for the annual event, that's a huge thing for me.
I
But
can't
but
speak,
we don't know.
we can't speak to that.
are we ever gonna know?
When it comes time for the final put together, probably yes, because previous emails from Tim, which are on the record, say specifically that he looks forward to working with
Mhm.
Ann Lake and Orrock Township. So I still believe those words. I have heard nothing different. But can I say absolute and make that promise tonight? No, I cannot.
Mhm.
I am not comfortable going against anything our attorneys tell us.
Completely agree with you. And I'm also not comfortable giving to the DNR at this moment if we don't know what's gonna happen with the shed. So it's like, until I know those two things, it's like, or at least the one thing.
Well, right now, it's ours.
Mm-hmm.
It's ours. So, that's it.
And I guess that's where I'm at, is the DNR has shown an interest. I don't
Absolutely.
disagree with what you're saying, but knowing how government works, and this is at the level that you're getting it at versus the people in St. Paul that will probably end up, that committee will be making the recommendation, and I have a feeling their budget has been spent for this fiscal year. We're talking at least probably a year away, at least a year away. I also look at what Ann Lake Club went out and has already done this year, getting the landing ready to go, dealing with things that didn't come in. I think they came to us last fall asking for help, of which we didn't know that much about, they didn't know that much about, and now it's spun into something that we still don't know a whole lot. So I have concerns about both sides. I think that they've stated they have the funds for this year. It's been, a lot of it's probably been spent. I know that the money box or collection donation thing was taken down, and that was a large percentage of your funds. Do you think it's sustainable for the next 2 or 3 years?
5 years.
Okay, well, we're not, this is us talking, okay? There was a chance for open forum.
Well, I was asking you.
I understand, but I'm not having a discussion. I had a chance for open forum if they wanted to present their stuff. This is a discussion for
I think it's a
us.
legitimate question concerning, the biggest thing is, do they have the finances? I think that's a legitimate question to ask.
And they answered yes.
Yes. So, then do they have it for the 5-year term?
And he answered yes.
They do,
But
okay.
what if something big happens, like the outhouse again?
Yep,
Then it's coming back on us.
it's back on us.
They have, well, we have an indemnification clause.
They can't indemnify us. They have nothing to indemnify
Are
us.
you calling them liars? If they signed the agreement, they're obligated to
They,
do it.
what resources do they have to indemnify us?
That's beside the point. They've said they will do it.
No,
Are you
that-
saying you don't trust your neighbors? Is that what I'm hearing out here?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I would have our lawyers get the documentation from them in advance that says this is what they have to indemnify us with. Just like you do when you rent a car, you have to show your insurance. Just like you do when you rent an apartment, here's my renter's insurance. I would definitely do that.
To me, you're
Yes.
you're just distrusting your neighbors.
I'm following our lawyer's opinion.
Yeah, I know you are. The other question I have is the attorney makes a big deal about the DNR has state funds, they have bonding, they have plenty of money. And I think at the higher level, looking at it, that's true. You get down to our level, how often does that money actually reach the local the local people. I know when I was on the Lake Association for Eagle Lake, we had problems with the boat launch. We're breaking some axles, people back into DNR after 2 years. They weren't there yet, so one of our people on the lake actually fixed the ramp. So there's no question that the DNR has the money, whether it gets down to our level where it does us any good is to me, it's questionable.
And I guess I'm to the point of saying, this agreement has been there for 25 years or more. And this is the first time there was a concern. They're telling us that they have the finances that will continue supporting that landing. You know, I guess if we had a clause in there to say that they, for whatever reason, don't have the finances and can't do it, that then the agreement would go back, because we wound up, I mean,
But in that case-
back in
We're
October.
right
But
back
then
here.
we're right back
We're
here,
right back
and
here.
if
No.
there's something that's money-wise, it comes to us.
No, we gave them another chance. I don't think they realized what they were requesting, nor did we realize what we were getting into, because we had to do an awful lot of research.
Well, that's because initially, from my understanding, when they pulled the records, when our attorneys pulled the records on this, the first agreement never went for attorney review. And had it, they would have never approved it.
Who would?
Corey Rupp said they wouldn't have approved that
They
first
wrote
one.
it.
They said they
wrote the second
didn't.
agreement.
They said they didn't. That it never got a
Cemetery
review.
wrote it, there's legalese all through this thing.
We've had legalese before. They said they didn't do it. When it was 1990, whatever the first one, 15 years ago, they didn't do that one. So whether revisions were done, modifications in agreement with each other, and legalese words were put in there, maybe that happened without attorney review, and that would make more sense, and probably be appropriate, that we just agree to these terms. But the very, very first one, 15 years ago, they said they did not review that one. Now, in between, maybe we didn't even ask them, and that's probably true.
And I go back, it's been 15 years, and there hasn't been a problem as far as financing that. Why are we in a hurry now to get rid of it when they have done the job? We can always end up back here. It's still our property,
That's part of the agreement, in 5 years, they can come back and say, look, we got a problem. So we said,
or it could be quicker if they
Well, but this-
financially
yeah.
can't afford it.
the way this is written, it's a 5-year deal. In 5 years, if something happens,
gotta be
they can come back to us.
I asked that it be renewed every 5 years just because the board changed.
Well, right now, this is not even on the board as an action item. So, this agreement. So, it is, not even something that we can actually take action
Sure we
on.
can, it's on the agenda.
Not that, the discussion is, it nowhere does it say action.
And.
I would have much rather had our attorneys look at that than given to us ahead of time, before 48 hours, for them to take a look at.
You can always bury it back to the attorneys, and that's not. We've been talking about this thing for 6 months.
And we went and got the opinions,
Yeah,
and they say, don't do it.
they said don't do it because, the attorneys are saying because the DNR has the resources to do it. Lake Association has admitted, we got the money for 5 years. Why do we wanna give it to the DNR? I think that's a mistake to begin with, to be honest with you. But if they're committed to 5 years, we can handle this. Why do we wanna give it to the DNR when we haven't got a straight answer on the DNR yet?
Oh, we did.
No, we haven't. I haven't seen
I
any.
got it from a district person.
From a district person, we haven't heard anything officially.
And they brought their state people out here and did their surveys and did the stuff that they needed to submit the request to acquire the land.
Yeah, and I
They're
haven't
moving
seen it, and I
forward.
haven't seen anything from them. They've done the research, I haven't seen anything, so.
I guess what's your concern about the DNR, Brian? They own most of the landings in the state.
But is that the best interest for Orrock and our citizens?
No.
Okay, nothing.
I don't know. I know that.
Again, I can only go on experience from my experience on Eagle Lake. Their maintenance was questionable. And it isn't, I'm not faulting them, they're hard up for money.
And we're
They're hard
also,
up for personnel.
we're also talking about, the entire township, the, whatever that 1,000 number of people was, making these decisions against our attorney's advisement. When we have, how many thousands of other people, 3,800 people in the township, that also would be on the hook, should there be another problem. They're on the hook for the outhouse, they're on the hook for anything we do.
The outhouse is history.
We pay, but we pay
Okay, we
to,
paid for it, but it's history.
and out of taxpayer money.
All right, but
All
it's history, but
3,800
it's history.
people.
It's gone.
So,
We're moving
any further
forward.
I
maintenance,
don't think that's fair. We have one street light in this township. We've been paying, now it's almost $15 a month. And nobody's ever questioned that of all the taxpayers in the township.
actually, we did
We
have,
have.
we have had people question that quite a bit.
Well, there's not
Since
been
they've been on the-
discussion here.
Yes, there has been,
At this board level,
yes.
And
We've had it
no
on
one
the
has any
agenda
information
twice.
on it.
We've had it on the agenda twice. We
I'm
had a
sorry, I
meeting.
don't remember that at all.
Oh,
I just
sorry.
know that we,
No.
it's always in the, I'm just saying, I think that's unfair to say that it's just because it's the Ann Lake people.
It's not just, no, that's not what I'm saying. All our decisions need to be based with the 3,800 people in mind. All the decisions we make. Whether it's $15 for a streetlight, or it's, a road project, or it's,
Or a hill that we're looking at cutting down because people that walk that street.
all of it. All of it needs to be with a, how does it affect the other people in the township?
Well, how many other people use that? It isn't just the Ann Lake people that use that lake.
No. Some,
Who's gonna maintain the lighting until the DNR takes over?
so
Taxpayers?
my question becomes, we have it up for discussion here. Do you want me to spend additional money, take that back to the attorney
No.
again?
Just sign it.
I go back to the motion.
Yeah.
That required a second. There was a motion.
I
and a
want to hear from
second.
the DNR about the shed, is what I hear.
And I cannot guarantee when that's gonna happen.
I know.
And if they're interested, we don't know that they're,
We do have in writing that they are interested in working with the Ann Lake Association around the shed, the landing, and Orrock Township. That is in writing.
If we give it to the DNR, how quick do they take over all financial responsibility?
Immediately.
So if we make the motion tonight, it's done.
No,
Yeah, it's once
gotta say
paid,
they're
it's
good.
once paid.
we have to go through it. We have some, we talked about this as well the other night. If you looked on Beacon, part of our property, that lake, that piece of land goes across the road into the property across from the landing. We are going to need to redo with the county that piece.
That swampy area that's kind of. pit
Nope,
up, you mean?
nope, I'm talking about the actual road in front of the
Oh,
landing.
okay,
It goes all the way across into his property.
gotcha,
There's a piece of it that goes like this.
gotcha.
So,
and if you talk to them about if we divide the
and
property.
we're going to need to take that piece out, because Tim, in a phone conversation, said, well, I don't wanna have that road as part of the piece of property that comes to us, because I don't want to be, because that makes me responsible for snow plowing 37 feet or something of an Orrock Township road. I'm like, agreed.
So we need to spend money on replatting that area then.
Either way, we need to do that.
No,
That's,
you don't, we just, if we go in this agreement, you don't have to mess with it.
I was gonna say, I can see Brian's point there, if we have to spend that money to give it away,
well, they may take that financial responsibility. It wasn't us spending it, it was, that's what's going to have to be done.
We haven't decided who's gonna pay for it.
yeah. So again, we need to know from the DNR who's paying for that, because I don't wanna take that cost on.
And do we want the property split, as I've asked, that the garage part of it, we keep?
That would take, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to spend the money to split that
We're
too.
gonna do it
Well,
anyway.
they don't wanna spend the money for the road, they certainly don't wanna spend the money for the
I would spend
splitting.
the money on the shed, because they built the shed. That would kind of be the peace offering, is if we could split the shed off, they keep it, and we give the rest to the DNR.
So you understand that that becomes taxable property, lakefront taxable property,
For us or for them?
for them.
They
That's
won't.
lakefront taxable property.
This is the easiest
And we
solution.
cannot give we can't give the land away.
Yeah, well,
That's what I was
that's
gonna
why,
say, we just
So,
own the property.
We can't just do that.
again, that's why I'm offering this contract. It's just the simplest way out, solves all the problems.
It doesn't solve the problems. Under no circumstance am I comfortable without an attorney looking at it.
More money.
Our attorney was crystal clear with me, to the fact where I was actually taken aback by how strong he spoke to me on the phone. I'm rarely speechless. Everybody can agree with that.
But there are.
That day on the phone with him, I was speechless, the way he spoke to me about that.
It's my understanding that Big Lake Township has a boat launch.
No, they don't.
That isn't what I was told.
You were told wrong. We've actually been to Big Lake Township, we've talked with them, I've chatted with them. So they did the maintenance on it. They don't own it.
Which lake is this?
What's the difference if you're paying, that's what your concern is about
County and the
paying of it.
DNR own it. They have an agreement with, they did the $10,000 maintenance, fix-up on the land.
But to Paul's point, if they're the ones paying for it, who cares if they own it? If they have to pay for it, that's what we care about.
They don't have to, that was an agreement that they came up with, that goes back many, many years, for other reasons that we're not maybe privy to, that we could dig in if we wanted. But the DNR owns it and the county owns the parking lot, or how it's, the other way around. Easement, yeah.
Pete, you're pretty quiet down there. What's your view of this?
The only thing I could think of is, let's shorten the term to 1 year or 2 years or something, so that way we get more input. That's the only thing I could think of. Otherwise,
Right, yeah. No, but
Well, I don't think we want to have this discussion every year. They have the finances for a minimum of 5 years, they've indicated that, so why do we want to bring this back every year?
Because if we wanna give it to the DNR, we still want answers.
yeah.
Well, maybe 5 years before the DNR gets around to getting back to us.
Or it could be January.
What was the motion?
To approve the proposed agreement.
Without the financial agreements, without financial statements showing money, without an indemnification, proof of indemnification, I'm not putting the township in that position. We can table this for, another month. They could provide us with their proof of financial, we don't know. They say they do, we don't know.
You're saying you don't trust them.
Yeah,
This
yeah, that's what it is.
flabbergasted me.
Yeah, putting that out there too. You don't.
Should I trust everybody that just says, oh, I have the money, let's just do it?
They're your neighbors. They ain't gonna lie to you. They're your constituents. They're your neighbors.
So have you had conversations with them about this?
No, not at all.
So how do you know that they do actually have the money, or they end up with big money?
Ask them. You ask them.
Do you have the financial statements for us in your bank? Can you show us that? I'm not gonna show it.
I'm
Not
not sure
gonna
if
show
that's
it.
necessary or not. We
Yeah,
have,
we
we have a bank account, we have enough money
But I
in
don't
there
think we
to
should
do
have to
every,
show it.
to do what we need to do.
Do you think the other people would be okay with that?
You have, to- if you're buying a house or anything else, you have to prove it.
Yeah, you have to, if you're doing any rental agreement, you're doing any agreement that involves paying for things,
Who's setting a budget for the 5 years?
you need to show that you can follow up with what you say you're gonna do. We have to do that. We have to show you every month that we can pay our bills.
Yeah,
I want more information. I wanna know about the shed, I wanna know how to split that off for them, and I wanna know the financials.
You want financials and shed information, okay?
you have a copy of our liability insurance. We've had that for years. We could certainly name the township as an additional insured. The DNR is already listed.
That helped, that was one of my concerns, that tornado comes through, knocked it down, we get stuck with rubble. So if we're listed as beneficiary, if that is the case where this falls through, say that does happen, that takes out one of the big financial risks.
But we have the insurance on the building, so the tornado is not an issue. It's a liability issue, something.
I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I remember, yeah, I thought this, but
Ours is, yeah, if it blows over, we're not rebuilding.
Again, I go back to 15, 25 years, hasn't been an issue. They brought it up, it's an issue, we've researched it, we've been beating it down. If they feel they can handle it, I think we should trust them again. And if they can't, it's gonna be in violation of the agreement anyway, it isn't gonna be 5 years. It's gonna be done. We'll be right back where we're at now. Except maybe DNR might be able to enact and think about something that long and decide to do something about it at that time. Because I'm sorry, I just don't have a lot of confidence in what's going on with the state governments and the federal governments.
then what's wrong with Peter's idea of doing it a year?
Because I don't think that's fair to them. They're already shelling out the money now, just delay.
So are we.
So are we.
I'm
We don't
talking,
have to anymore.
I'm talking about,
We don't have to anymore.
they're shelling out the money to take care of the landing for your concern about getting the boats taken care of this spring and maintaining it. They are doing that now with a little trust in us to act and trust them. I think it's time we show that trust in them. And I don't think a year is fair.
I think it is a fair, because then we're not giving it to the DNR. We're taking.
Well, we don't know that the DNR will take it.
We don't know they won't.
No, that's true.
So that's a,
But I don't
that's a
believe
dead,
a
that's
district
just a
person is
dead,
gonna.
it's a dead thing. I mean, we don't
think
know
it's-
either way.
That's correct.
So
So it's the same.
using it as a pro or using it as a con doesn't matter.
So why don't we trust the people that came to us with concerns last October, November?
Because I've seen nothing that
Excuse
shows me
Excuse
that they
me, I
can
was talking.
do it. I've seen nothing that shows me they can take care of it.
Thank you for interrupting.
You're welcome.
25 years or something like
Yeah, there's proof. Okay, we have discussed this, that you didn't have the money, you came to us to get money, and now you have the money. that's great. Let's prove it. That's all. I wouldn't even trust WSB if they told me, well, we have the money, we'll just fork it, we'll do it ahead. I wouldn't trust them, I wouldn't trust that. I'm not gonna do that without proof.
wouldn't wanna trust your neighbors.
I would trust my neighbors for my money and my stuff, but I'm not going to trust anybody with the township's money.
Which is our money.
I will trust,
Pay taxes.
why don't we put this on the ballot then?
Well, I guess I'll put it this way, and Ann, you were at a meeting that I was at last night, and we saw a lot of discussion about trust. Dealing
Don't
with,
trust you right now.
with, what's going on at the state level.
Said,
So I'm just saying, I don't believe that they're going to be acting that quick, and to give the club the opportunity to continue with something that has not been a problem is well worth us
It was a
trusting.
problem, and then as soon as we say we're giving it to the DNR, all of a sudden, no, it's not a problem anymore.
Well,
That's
that-
the way it's coming across right now.
That's right, and so somehow, something happened within their club. Whether they got more
All we're
volunteers and more
asking is-
finances,
And we're asking to see that.
Ask them what changed. It's it right here.
We've been asking, show us the financials.
No,
We
ask them what's
actually all
changed.
added more of our own money to it,
Yeah.
to keep
Okay.
it up. That's what we did, 'cause we want it.
See the financials.
I'm gonna call the question. And actually, I don't even think we can actually vote on it. Because we do not have it up for a vote today. And we didn't modify the agenda to make it a vote. We had the option in the beginning to modify the agenda. Nobody did. It's up for discussion.
because there was a motion to approve it,
That,
I opened it right there.
no, it didn't.
You're the only one speaking against being able to vote against it, or voting for it or against it.
Well, someone has to follow the rules.
I call the question.
Call the question, yeah. Let's find out where we stand.
I don't think we can vote on it.
So as vice chair, you're asking me to take over.
No, I'm not. I am saying that if we go against what we voted on up here, approval of our agenda, are you saying we ignore the approval of our agenda that we all agreed on?
And we have several times added something later that we forgot, or that wasn't done, and we voted on it. So don't get in a technicality over something, that the discussions here, we had a chance, everyone had a chance to read it. You've had an extra month to go through the discussion.
Oh, we didn't have the proposal till we didn't have that piece until just the other day.
Well, that's when we got all of this.
Yeah.
No, the letters we've had for months,
I'm talking about the agenda.
but the letters
We
we've had for
voted on
months.
other things already.
The letters we've had for months. We sent them in April. So, we've had the time to look at
Okay,
those.
so-
We've had the time to potentially have it
You're
reviewed.
gonna, I called the question. You're not recognizing it?
No, I'm not recognizing
Then I'll
it.
take over as vice chair, and we're going to go continue on. And the question's been called. All those in favor of entering into the presented material that was in our packet with Ann Lake Club, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. I didn't hear. Okay. All those opposed?
Aye.
It's defeated.
Moving on. I would have rather had, for what it's worth, I would have rather had further discussion to be able to come to an agreement to say, hey, let's take it to the lawyer to look at. Hey, let's let's give them time to give us the financials. Hey, let's do that. That is why I did not want to call the question, because now it's dead.
It's not dead, it can come
Bring
back
it up
up at the
again
next
next month.
meeting.
And again, if we don't take it somewhere before then for everything else, we're gonna end up in the exact same spot. So, section E, sand dunes, horse signs, discuss and action. So, this was kind of a weird way this came up. Commissioner Felber was approached by Northwest Metro Backcountry Horsemen of Minnesota to come and have a discussion with them about some issues they were having at the park, and then some other overall issues around representation on the Sherburne County Park Board, and some other things. When they started to talk about signage in their conversations about the meeting, he's like, Ann, why don't you come with me, because I'm not sure that this is just all DNR road stuff. Okay, so I went to the meeting as well. Years ago, there was a sign, a brown one with white trim, and the writing across from the entrance, and it's not visible until you're almost on top of it. They're asking for a sign. Again, that's a DNR thing. Had some conversations with the DNR. They're like, those are ours. If you'd like to fix them or do something with them, be our guest. Okay. The other sign that came up is this one. So this one is at,
That's on DNR property.
well, actually, I'm not sure it is.
It's into the entrance to the.
But it sits, the problem with it is that it sits, the sign sits right here. The actual DNR road starts here.
No,
That one was way back by that one was way
no,
back
it's go
by-
way back,
No,
Ann.
it's-
So,
Doesn't it go right before Aaron Hart and where it stops?
yeah, right here.
Yeah, you can see the horse camp road right
Oh,
up.
I'm sorry, yes, the sign is here. Yeah, oh, it is. I took a picture of it, right there.
It's right next to the road that goes south.
Yep, the other, where that other property is, the other 40.
Oh, for the other.
The other 40.
Is it in the easement or is it on DNR land?
It's,
It's.
It's a-
DNR land, that's DNR land on that side of the road. That's-
Or is the easement still ours?
it is, yeah, that's the thing,
And
that's
that's
the
how far off the
question.
road is it?
It's,
Well, it's in our easement.
it's in our
Yeah,
easement.
okay.
All right, I'll buy that.
Yeah, it's in our easement. And so, can you bring that picture up? Okay, so their initial complaint is you can't find the horse camp because you can't see the sign. Whose problem is it? Well, you see there is actually a sign there. The address for the other down the road was added to that, which I'm sure the DNR did not do. So, that
So
tree,
what's the question? Do
the
they want
tree
us to
there-
trim or they want to trim it?
the tree there needs to be trimmed.
So they asking permission for them to do it or they want us to do it?
They want us to do it. And then they would, it is in our easement and it is covering a sign. Typically, that is something that we pay for.
But we
If
don't
we-
want them to do it if it's in our easement, you got liability issues. So it's not a big deal if Daryl goes out there for 5 minutes and trims it up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what
Who's
these.
signing?
I'm still trying to figure that out because it's not a DNR sign.
Do we care? I mean, it's for the public interest so they can find the camp.
Mhm.
Trim the damn tree. It's not that big of a deal.
Just wanted to make sure.
Instead of trimming it, can we just cut it down so this isn't a problem again?
That's kind of where I was going. Can we just remove it?
No, it's for the public. The public wants to know where the horse camp is.
No,
the
the tree.
Just remove the tree.
Instead of
Oh,
trimming
I
the
don't
tree,
care. Yeah, I don't
just
care.
cut the tree down.
That's Daryl's problem.
Okay.
Whatever's easier for Daryl.
Okay,
Well, I think I know Daryl's opinion on that one.
okay, we just wanted to
If
make
it's up to
sure.
Daryl.
Then we wouldn't have any trees left.
We would have no trees in Orrock if we let Daryl cut everything down. Okay. The other sign that they want was, again, it will be on DNR property, and that is something that, the entrance into the actual horse camp, which you can't see. So that is gonna be on DNR property, and that is not our issue. I think we will satisfy everything from our easement perspective if we just get that cut down or removed. Yes? Okay. Yeah, we'll make a motion to have Daryl remove the tree covering the sign.
I'll make a motion.
Great. No, will you have something to say?
Well, you-
Let's get a
I'll
second.
you-
Second?
yeah, okay. I would just verify that that is within right of way, because if it's within prescriptive easement, you guys do not have the right to cut down. Unless you get permission from the property,
Okay,
so. I just verified. I was trying to pull it up as fast as I could. but-
so there is, so we can trim it, but we can't cut it down.
Correct. Even trimming the recommendation would be to notify the property.
Which is the state, isn't it?
Daryl would trim the tree.
Because that would be on the south side of the road, correct? So in,
Going in, it's right here.
so yeah, that would be the DNR real estate man. Because you guys just have prescriptive rights on that road, and you guys don't actually, I don't know, maybe it's an easement, but
It's an
it
easement.
depends on what that easement is actually reading. If it gives you guys rights to maintain, or like maintain that easement, then you can cut it down to prescriptive easement.
Okay.
I know that's very convoluted, and making this more difficult,
Well, I knew there was gonna be a little to it, which is why I brought it here, because I didn't wanna put us in a position where we did something that we would get in trouble for.
Just trim the tree.
So,
It's okay if there's no branches left.
Yeah.
you can trim it really, really well.
That's what I'm gonna say.
You put a saw in Daryl's hand, you'd be surprised what artwork he does.
so do you want,
Don't pull the stump
so,
out, just say you trim it.
do you wanna modify your motion to,
I'll modify it to trim the tree in front of the sign on
Okay.
253rd.
okay, we've modified it.
And I will still second.
Still second it, great, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Planning and zoning, Heidi Warnicki has a rezone request. They want comments on to rezone 2 lots from general rural to shoreland residential, and then break it into 3 lots. So there is picture. I'm open to comments from I will write furiously as discussion occurs. Word for word, whatever you say.
Well, if she's gonna market these down the road, she needs to have a minimum of 2.5 acre lots.
Not if it's shoreline though, isn't it? I think
No,
that's,
I think that's with.
I think that's
the new
why.
lot. With the new lot, I think she does, but if it's an existing lot, not the case.
even within shoreline residential though.
I think once you're replatting, you need to go to 2.5 acres, I believe.
I assume that's why they were replatting, was to get it to shoreline, so I didn't think you needed that.
Can I speak?
Are you Ms.
I'm
Warnicki?
Heidi.
You're Heidi, yes, Heidi, please, come up here. Please share with
Okay.
us what you're doing.
I have talked to Lynn, I've gone through all the channels. I started in January to do this. I have 1 lot here, 1 lot here. This is the rest of my lot. I also own over there. I wanted to break these off so that I continue to pay for the farm. So, it's 1 here, 1 here. That's it.
You gonna sell them, or what's your
Yes.
intent of those?
I'm gonna sell them, yes,
And you're gonna keep lot 3 for you,
correct.
and the stuff across the street.
Correct.
Okay.
And the stuff that's over here, because I own all the way to 15.
Got it.
So that small bit down on 253rd is a second lot right now.
And this is the second lot. I own this one, this one right here that goes with this, but my drain field had to go over here. We've been through this before. And because it's here, this is not a sellable lot. Even though it's separate from this, it has to go with the house because the drain field is, and that's what you all decided that I had to do when the house was built.
How long ago was that?
3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Pre most of us. Okay.
Well, that-
Yeah.
that's-
That's why I'm not familiar, I'm like,
But
huh?
I guess what I'm asking, the square part up above
This,
is all one lot, and that little rectangle is lot number 2 right now.
Right.
no,
That's all one lot.
this is all one lot.
Right now it is?
Right.
Okay.
And this one cannot be included in that because it goes along with this. If you took this along with it, I wouldn't be able to have a drain field.
Okay, because somewhere in our packet, they were showing a second little rectangle lot below, so I was trying to figure out which one.
Good about that.
No.
And I talked to Lynn extensively. I met with her, I met with the
That's how it is
zoning
right
guy
now.
Mitch. We've gone over my options. This is what they told me that I could do. So I am here, and then the next place is I'm going to the town, or going to the county.
The county, right, you have to, yeah, you come here first.
That's
and-
what it looks like right now.
That's right now, is,
Yeah.
okay, so that one is
And
separate.
that's what she wants
Okay,
to
so
break
you're-
it down the other part.
You're splitting the top rectangle, top square into 3, and then
Yes.
combining that existing lot number 2.
Into hers.
Okay, okay.
And it doesn't even have to be combined. I don't care if it's combined or not. I'm not doing anything with that.
That's hers.
And then I own all of this over here too,
Okay.
which is another story. Which you'll probably see me for.
I was gonna say, is that coming to us too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if Lynn is okay with that, acre and a half instead of 2.5, I guess
Mhm.
that's the rule.
I could have sworn that's what they're moving to going forward, is shoreline residential is less.
I know there's different regulations for each one, so. But anyway, if she said it's okay, then.
Yeah, she's already been there.
I have been there several times. There's 150 feet for each one of
All
these.
the different rules for shoreline versus.
Yeah.
And then you guys, I am sure you've had the discussion about the driveways and about the
Can we go
access.
back, shall we?
Yep.
Is that why you're keeping that little tail on the
I'm
164th?
I'm
Just so you
keeping,
have 2 driveways just in case?
right,
Okay.
correct.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
there's-
gee, that's a driveway access.
That's what I assumed, but that's why I was wondering the one down below. So it's simply just because now you can access 2 roads if needed.
Well, the other way, there's no way to access lot 3 if we don't have a driveway, again, unless you, that bottom piece, right?
Yeah,
I have
it
one
seemed like that was
here.
combined.
But if
Yeah.
that wasn't incorporated, so that's why Lynn did that. So
So in
if,
case it's not.
if that little, this is not incorporated into the bigger, nope, one over. Nope,
The little one.
down,
This
over,
one,
other way.
this
There
one.
you go.
Yeah,
I'm
this,
telling him, if that's not incorporated into the bigger piece,
Then you can still get on with
you
164.
can still get on with the other
Yeah.
one, right? So
On
it
the
gives
far
them the
end.
opportunity to, again, cut that piece off
If they-
at some point.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that would, yeah,
Okay.
so that would be an issue. That's why they're doing it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, if it's been to the county, then.
well, technically, she's worked with the county, it hasn't been
It
to
hasn't
the
been there
county,
officially yet.
Because it's
But,
gonna come to you next.
yeah, I know it will. But if Mitch and Lynn's already seen it and opined on
Comes to
it,
you
they or
next.
not, then I,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't see any
fine.
problem.
She's working with them.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so, any comments? What are the comments?
To me, it's just support.
What?
Meet the
Support.
meet the requirements of the planning and zoning.
Yeah,
Meet any requirements of planning and zoning?
yeah, otherwise we support it, yeah.
Okay. Easy enough. Does she need this before, or you send
I
this
can
in?
send it.
You can send it in? Okay.
That would be great, thank you.
All right, all signed, sealed, and delivered. There you go. So she'll send that in.
Do you want a copy?
Yes, I would like to copy.
I think the next, the next piece, roads and signs, 233rd update. Discussion.
Yeah, so, we have the memo here that kind of lays out the different options that we kind of have in this area. This kind of stems back to, just so everyone's aware, it is on the east side of the lake, this is not for the west of the lake. But this kind of stems back to a problem that we ran into last summer, was it that it started, I think? So there's kind of two options that ended up being feasible, since we're not really able to use any of the designated right of way, since it's not designated to the township, it's designated to the property owners that are out there. So what we'd be looking at doing, would be installing a catch basin at the low points. And then we would end up reshaping it a little bit to, we potentially attempt to try to hold some of the water back in the ditch line that's on the one side of the road, but it end up flowing into a catch basin, and there'd be another catch basin that would be for just a structure. We can see what we would like to do there. That would be on the very west, somewhere along the roadway on the western edge of the right of way, and then we'd need to get an easement from the property owner there to go through his vacant lot and out to the lake.
Either they DNR permits, or we're gonna have the same problem we have, or,
No, so this is actually all above the ordinary high water level, so then we were not designated by that. This kind of goes into what our next topic of conversation is, but I'll bring it up here as well. For projects like this, the Soil and Water Conservation District, they're typically, they're able to find money for projects similar to this, so it's kind of an issue. We can put it in a sapple baffle or some level of
I
treatment.
just saw one of those
That's
on the tour.
a nice sheet
So
of steel with
cool.
holes in it.
Those were amazing. Like, I sat there staring in that hole for like a little, oh, I loved it.
Yeah, it's
I learned so much.
pretty crazy how much it actually helps when you look at it.
Yes.
There's no way that this is going to make a difference, but it
But
does.
it does. It's amazing.
So we'd end up putting something like that in here. That would typically qualify, so you can typically get that to qualify for the sapple baffle, the installation and the structure.
Structure.
That structure is obviously very deep because you can't have the pipe going towards the lake streaming down at the grade that's there, or else we end up with a ton of scour and we have a lot of people mad at us. So that structure is very deep, but along with that, we'd end up with the sapple baffle in it. And then the only downfall to the sapple baffle is you end up with a lot of, or not a lot of maintenance, but similar maintenance to the one that you guys already have.
you gotta pump them out.
You gotta suck it out.
Suck out the sand every year.
And on this one, I'm gonna guess that we'd actually have potentially a little bit less than the other one. This one might be a little bit longer since it's a little flatter. I don't think it's as much sediment in this area, but, so there are some opportunities for some grant funding to help with this project.
They funded the other one.
Yep.
Yep. It was on,
Yeah.
it was on the tour this last time, that I just took with Soil and
Gotcha.
Water Conservation District, which
Yeah,
is
so-
how I ended up there.
Typically, they won't pay for like piping, but they will pay for
The structure.
They'll pay for the structure and stuff. So if you look at your like price tag there, that's a few pages later. I'm gonna guess that it'd be like a 50-50 split. I'd be pretty happy with that kind of split. We're doing a very similar project right now in Wright County. Soil and Water is paying for their sapple back over there. And we're roughly at like 22,000 or 25,000-ish that they're contributing to that structure. Just to give you an idea of what you're kind of looking at as far as that side of things goes. The other option that we did look at was looking at some level of underground storage. It ended up just not, the tough part with underground storage is it's it's very high maintenance cost. You have to do a really good job of maintaining it, or else it doesn't infiltrate as fast. And so currently, we would have it, what we're calling out now is we're calling out 1.1 inch rain. That's a pretty good rainstorm, but if you get more than that, you're still gonna have all the same problems that we're experiencing today, for the most part.
So just for reference, the rainstorm yesterday, I did not see it, but I was told by a property owner that there was a foot of water on the road yesterday.
I'm sure that will.
So, just for what it's infiltrating right now,
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good rain.
it was
But-
very, very quick too.
Yeah. And I mean, so if we would have enough storage capacity for 1.1 inches of rain to fall in that area. So it'd have to rain more, like, even if it came down incredibly fast as that catch basin can take the water, it'll put it into that storage. So you really wouldn't see it flooding even at,
So even
as long as
yesterday,
you don't exceed that 1.1 inches.
yeah, so even yesterday, it might have flooded a little bit, but very quickly it'll go down.
Yeah, probably to the point that unless you're driving in that rain event, you're not gonna see it.
We would have flooded out yesterday. We had over an inch.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure how much it was in that. But, so yeah, you'd see a little bit of flooding potentially then, but again, it'd go down fairly quick.
Yep.
And your guys' soil, I would guess that you're gonna be close to like 7 to 9 inches of water in an hour that is gonna go down. Probably higher than that, but we can't probably deny that, so. Anything more than that, they make the area of your sands that doesn't.
That whole area, what's the condition of the roads?
The roads are actually in overall pretty good shape.
It-
They're not spectacular by any means, but not really on the radar for.
So now within 5 years.
I wouldn't say so.
And we talked about this last year, the whole point was to make sure this is reusable. Are both of these options reusable, like you can, okay, you can tie into it when we
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, there's gonna be some obviously patching of the roadway wherever we're crossing with the pipe or running alongside of it. But overall, everything that we designed through, I designed it so it was set up.
But the heavy equipment, the digging's gonna, on the edges, is gonna break down.
Yeah.
What would the economy of scale doing at the same time? Like what would we save if we did it at the same time as the road?
Not a lot, because realistically, the companies that are gonna be putting in this type of work, they're gonna be coming to the project separate anyways.
Okay.
It's not gonna be the same road crew that's doing the rest of the work anyways, so.
Okay.
Now, if you had 5 of these projects, that would make a difference, but
I really hope we don't need 5 of these.
I do too. But ultimately, if you do it now, you do it in 5 years, it's gonna be just inflation.
When you say now, you're talking about next summer, or next spring?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to acquire the easement from that property owner, so that obviously is gonna take some level of work, energy and time, so. Nor do we even know if he's willing to rent us an easement. So that is obviously, I mean, his property is obviously the one that the water overflows to.
Correct.
So I would
You'd
assume
think
that
he'd
you'd be
want-
somewhat amicable
He-
to.
Yeah.
He's, if you couldn't guess, he's the one that originally filed this complaint, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess that he would be willing to work with us on this, especially since all he's parking there now is boat trailers and whatever else.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's actually utilizing the property as.
So I should probably disclose that is my neighbor, so I know a little bit extra. He is trying to put a shed on mats. Does this prohibit a shed from going there?
If it was going to cause us not to replace the pipe in the future, then
Okay. I mean, that's a conversation for you guys. I'll be honest, I don't want to be involved.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm stuck in the middle, but.
We're gonna put it as close to the property line as we can.
Okay.
The tricky part is where he's gonna probably want the shed is way up top. And at the top of the hill, we're going to be, like, you can kind of see there, so our west invert is a 938.5, and we're gonna be about that deep with the pipe all the way through there, so you're talking a 10 to
12-foot difference.
12-foot hole, so you're talking a pretty deep hole. So that property's not exactly that wide, but they could probably sneak that in a 15-foot wide trench. But
You got the bushes around, or you use trench box.
trench box. Don't worry, we're not gonna, not digging into your sand that straight up.
And just to be clear, you're not buying the property from him. He would still own the property, correct?
You would own the property, we just have to.
Yep, okay.
Drainage and utility.
But you're encovering it, so he can't build anything above it.
That's for them, and I'm trying to stay out of that one. I know there's questions gonna be asked. I asked him to be here tonight. He's out of town.
Yeah.
I know there's gonna be questions asked, so I'm trying to get a little bit more information than I normally would.
If I was you, I'd stay out of that.
I wanna stay out of it, Brian, trust me.
You can give him my contact info.
I will.
And then that'll be a little bit easier on that side of things, but,
Property next to it, so the garage is here, it's owned by him. Do you
Yeah.
need any kind of easement from him?
we should be able to stay all within our prescriptive.
Okay.
rights for the road.
Okay, because we got, if you recall, we had permission from him last year when we thought we were gonna go into the pond area where Daryl was gonna do the work. We did get signed from him, but I know he's gonna ask as well. So we
Yeah,
shouldn't have to go to his
I
at all.
was- Just because it is in prescriptive rights, generally speaking, when you're out of a pipe, our rule of thumb is to request, just like a right of entry. It basically says that water will come in your property, just as a courtesy type of a deal. But ultimately, everything we're doing stays in the
Okay.
prescriptive rights that you guys are.
Okay, again, just asking in case I get asked, I wanna,
Yep,
I'm not
and the
sure.
pipe is only 4 feet deep, so it's not like, we're not talking a large area.
Yep. His big thing is he was okay with it as long as it gets obviously fixed back over and is fixed flat, so so he can mow it, because before it was a big,
Yeah, I'd still be on.
yep, that was all he wanted
The
to know about.
only question mark might be where the actual structure is. We'd end up like looking at a beehive type structure on it, unless we put it right on the edge of the road. We can have that kind of conversation as we get a little bit closer, but, yeah, you just run into the issue of, we could put a small piece of curb there too, or something like that. We'll have to get, once we get further into design, that'll be.
Okay.
How long do you anticipate this to occur, that road's gonna be blocked off?
4 hours.
Oh,
You dig a hole that deep, get the septic in there, backfill it.
I mean, that'll all be hopefully right on the edge of the road, so they should still be able to sneak through on the other side of
If you're down 10 feet, just the back slopes on the,
the road. It'll all be within the trench box ideally, so it won't be.
So you can still put one car by, okay.
Yeah, it'll be down to a single lane.
Yeah, but there's only,
There might be some
7, 8
times that
residents
it's gonna
there that are
be tricky to
affected.
sneak through there, but we'll obviously notify all of them.
yeah,
so the other stipulation is that it would probably begin after school is held next year, be done in the summer. You sure when you want buses going down through there?
No, I don't, I mean, our buses leave like here.
leave the garbage.
Garbage, there are buses that go through there.
I don't know.
there
I'm
are
not sure.
buses, yeah. Garbage trucks, even a
So
bus,
then-
they have to back through there. They can't drive down there and turn around, so they have to back in.
Yeah.
But
So if
agreed.
that's the case, then yeah, I just specify through the middle of summer. Or you make the kids walk to the corner.
I mean, I mean, if it's a 4-hour project that you're gonna have it shut down, you do it between.
I mean, it'll be a tight squeeze for a school bus.
There's never gonna be a good day or a good time, and you can go pick one, and then
But
all
they
of
could
a
drop
sudden
off,
it'll rain.
if they had to drop off on the corner for one day,
It's not.
even if we had to notify the couple extra residents there to say, hey, your kids are gonna be dropped off here
at
instead
the
of here,
corner.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, considering some of our other road projects are gonna move mailboxes and
Yeah,
other things.
you're talking one afternoon that their kids
Yeah,
have to
this is,
walk an
this
extra
is
100
minor,
A
minor.
project like this is, I mean, there's going to be inconveniences for sure, because it'll probably be a 3-day project, I'm gonna guess, 3-4 days, that it'll be like, that are there in totality. Putting in pipe, but again. it's-
The end result is what needs to be done, right?
We can make that all.
Again, I've seen one of these in action, I've seen them, it is amazing. And I was again, for somebody who, for the most part, don't care, because I don't understand it, I was enthralled by their description and their tour of what they did and how they moved water with this system. So I was amazed. So very worth the trip. So nice, thank you very much.
So Kevin, I guess, what's your recommendation out of the two?
Either way, you're going to have to put an outfall in most likely, unless you're willing to take the risk on of having flooding still. Like an outfall is the only way that you can eliminate the chance of it. If the inlet gets plugged, obviously you're still going to run into flooding issues, but as long as your inlet is open, the only real chance of completely removing this issue is putting an outfall in. So there's not really a huge advantage of going to the infiltration side versus putting in a sap with backflow that's running into
A lot less maintenance, a lot less to go wrong.
Yeah.
So you're thinking the Sassel backflow is the.
I would recommend going with the sap with backflow well with the piping structure. Ideally, we'd figure out a way that we could go across that right of way that's there, but, you know, that's it. We'll let that dream sit.
All right. West Eagle.
There's not really anything we can do
No,
today.
no,
Okay.
it's a discussion only.
Is
What-
Kevin reaching out to the property owner then?
Well, I
Or
think
what-
that,
I feel like if you wanted to, he could reach out to me, we can have a chat just to see if he's even remotely interested in something like that.
I'm just wondering what the next step is.
And then I would bring up a proposal back to you next month.
Okay, so you want him to reach out to you? Okay. I will
Because
let him know.
if he's not remotely interested, I don't want to.
then we don't
Then
wanna,
that's fine.
we don't wanna vote on something and we
And that's
can't
fine with
get
me. I just wanna make sure we have a clear, so I will talk to him when he's back. You will reach out to Kevin, and then I can step out of it.
Step away, step away, my friend,
Sick him on me and I'll.
step away.
From there.
Because, as you said, he was the one.
He's the one that filed
That
it.
filed it, so reaching, yeah.
If he's not
Going
willing to play
back to
ball,
him.
then you know what? He's the one complained at that point.
But I think it's appropriate too to reach back to him and say, we talked about it, there are some options, you need to call WSB,
Mhm.
talk to Kevin, and then he's gonna get back with us.
Yeah.
So, kind of balls in his court.
Which is perfect, he's been
Which
waiting.
requires nothing from us right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, West Eagle improvement update.
This is basically the exact same, conversation. So, as part of the permitting process, we won't get into too much of that, but, part of that is Sherburne Soil and Water reached out and stated that they have monies available this year to potentially look at, things like 10 to 20 grand, to potentially see if we can't do some level of a water quality improvement with part of this project. They get new funding that goes into that pot every year, but this year's money, they still have a little bit left. So they just reached out and said, hey, ask the township, do they have any interest in putting in some level of either sump manholes, so basically just put a deeper bottom on the structure that you have to suck out every 2 to 5 years, whatever it is. Or even potentially a safflower baffle if we can show that it would improve enough. I don't know if it necessarily would help us enough for this situation that it's worthwhile. Basically, the only spot that really impacts the water quality enough would be in that southwest corner where it goes into what's technically the lake. That is not a wetland, that is part of the lake. It is above the ordinary high water level. So much fun.
We're talking right at the end of the road there?
Where the pond is?
No, southwest.
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 Oh,
That
right
other-
there, okay.
That wetland is technically part of the lake.
It's technically part of that.
The lake.
So is that ditch.
Really?
Yes, we get a DNR permit. So,
How's the wetland delineation?
that's all done, it's just within the review process, So basically, you guys have a chance to comment on it, if you'd like to comment on your own wetland delineation that you already paid for. You're more than welcome to comment on it. It's a really fun process that we have to go through, and you guys told us to do it, and then you still have the chance to comment and tell us that we did it wrong if you'd like to. The public also has a chance to comment on those things, it's a good process, but.
You're not
So-
anticipating any problems, you're still looking at construction here in this, late this summer, fall?
Yeah, they're still looking at, like an early September start,
It'll be done by end of the, before freeze up?
they'll be done by the end of September.
All right.
If not.
So they have to be done by the 15th of October.
Yep. And they're expecting to be done before that.
All right.
But the crew that we got for this job is my favorite contractor, so I'm very. They're the type of crew that is gonna come in and get it done for you guys in a very quick, and efficient manner, and they keep a really clean project.
Well, back to your initial comment, does it pay, is it worthwhile, pursuing the soil and water?
We're gonna look and see, if you guys are interested in it, we'll look and see if it shows a benefit. Like, we can we have modeling of this area now, so we can check and see if there's enough water that's going to that wetland that it makes a difference enough for you guys that we might even justify it. If it does, that would be like a proposal / opportunity that I'll bring back to you guys. We'll work with the soil and water to see how much funding they actually have, and if we just deepen that manhole and throw in a sample backhoe, what would that cost be? There's technically a 10% match, but like you said, it's how much you guys are doing on a project like this, I think the 10% match would be
So
Paul brought up, with, this going now to September, is part of it us reaching out to the schools and letting them know that
Nope, we take care of it.
you're gonna do it? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a pre-con meeting in between myself and the contractor.
That's what I thought, but Paul asked me to clarify.
Yep.
Okay. All right, again.
We don't notify the garbage trucks, so we'll let them struggle through. It is a requirement for our contractor to help them get the garbage in, loaded in, whatever else, but typically the garbage trucks like to show up and throw arms at me and oh my gosh.
and they're there every day of the week now.
Okay.
Every day they're down there.
But that's all I've got on that one.
All right, thank you. No action from us needed. Pothole patching, discuss and action.
All right, this is me. I reached out, with our spring road tour. Tried, going to a couple different places to just kind of spread the wealth. This place got back to me. This is the quote that they gave me for the pothole patching in the township. All the ones that were on the list on our road tour, this is what they came back for bid. I did reach out to another company. This place here is out of Becker, and I reached out to another place that was out of Becker. They did not get me a bid as of today, so
How many patches you doing?
everyone that was on that list.
Yeah, how many? I don't remember the.
I didn't bring that list with me. No, I
There had to
didn't.
be 20, 30 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there had been like 20 or 30 of them on that list.
Okay.
Some of them were big, pretty decent sized ones, like the one over on the west side.
So you got 2 or 3 patches going in?
Probably about 2 or 3 going into that one for sure, because that was a really big one.
Right.
So, this is what they came back with for a bid for that. It was really nice working with these people because I didn't have to lift a finger. I just threw a map out to them, gave them the coordinates, and they went out and did it all on their own. I was very happy about that, not having to drive around for an hour or so, hour and a half to show them every pothole and stuff. They are very good with communication. They said they would give me a timeline when they plan to be out there, weather permitting. And then and then they would hold to that.
Don't oversell it, Pete, you making a motion?
I make the motion that we accept this bid for $8,000 for pothole patching in the township.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next one would be compost facility issue, discussion, and action.
Daryl went out and did test running on, he did some tree trimming around some signs. Went to the Zimmerman compost facility to dispose of the branches and the trees and stuff like that that were trimmed. They basically told him to get out. Now our compost card does not work at the compost facility anymore because of the way the funding and everything, something about the funding is for residents only, it is not for township. So, and I told me about this a few weeks ago, and I had a lot of things on my plate. And Shelley went out and got numbers for us for other places to take our brush to, or stuff, so then we have something in store for if we have anything drastic, trees come down, whatever, we gotta try to dispose of all this stuff. And this is what she came up with.
What was the Elk River change? When we changed all the yard stuff last year, I know Big Lake is now people like residents only.
Everything's
didn't-
residents only.
Even in Elk River, theirs is too. So is it just residents of Elk River can use that one?
Yes.
Because I remember our card can't work there anymore.
No,
So that was the change.
that was the
Okay.
change. Yes, Elk River is on its own, so,
But all of them
But
are
Zimmerman-
residents, there's no commercial.
Zimmerman and Big Lake, I think you still can do both of them.
Correct, but it's all residential, it's not, none of it's
Yes,
commercial. Okay.
nothing is commercial, it's all residential.
Daryl, what's your input?
I don't know, we just dumped the trailer load the other day at a place for $290.
And that was at Bronco?
No, that was a place over, west of us. But they say only $2 per cubic yard, but when you get there, they see your dump trailer and then they just put out a number, so I don't think it's really a number you guys can put on it. No, they tell you when you get there.
Do we have a choice, really?
Or we put it somewhere and burn it, and then or we hire a chipper and chip it, and we have it sitting here, fire hazard. I don't know, I think it's sort of weird why they're doing it, but I don't think,
Your first loss is your least loss.
or we store it. until we
Pay
get a
whatever
full
the
trailer
cost
load,
is.
What'd you say, Daryl?
Or we store it until we get a full truck load, but then you gotta touch it twice.
Yeah, and you had to deal it, and you're hauling it twice, I'm sure you're handling it twice.
You know, pay us to drive all the way there to dump it, to cut that little tree down in front of your sign, is gonna cost a fortune.
I'm gonna send Greg over there to do it. You're gonna go
Trim
cut
the tree.
You're gonna go get the tree.
Thought maybe Ann would do it, that's delegation, great.
Um,
I spoke with Mark at Bronco, and he sounded like we were our best option.
The one that's owned in Big Lake is owned by City of Big Lake.
Closest
Sherman County.
commercial
By
Sherman
Sherman
County.
facility
Zimmerman,
after
Big Lake, I think there's one in Clear Lake.
Becker.
or something.
Becker.
Becker, they're all Sherburne County.
But I guess my thought is if it's owned by government, can we have some kind of agreement? Because they're city owned, so that's even better. Is there a way to get an agreement with City of Big Lake?
I talked to the head honcho, and they said absolutely not.
That answers my question. That kills that.
Craig's going like this, Daryl's going like this.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for trying.
It's the cost of doing business, unfortunately.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion to have further discussion so we can pick something? Somebody make a motion about something.
I think we should just leave it up to Daryl, to which way he's going, depends on where he's at in the township for one of the things,
Yeah.
right, Daryl? And,
Well, we don't really have a choice.
that's what I mean.
Go to Vanco's Vanco, so that's what Becker.
I mean, that's always gonna be the closest, isn't it? Because if the next closest is Dayton,
That's,
Becker's always gonna be the closest.
that's
You
my
don't wanna,
feeling,
you don't
but
wanna go that far.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I agree.
There's nowhere in the township that there's something closer than Bonko.
And we
I
don't want, and
move-
we
I
don't
move
want to
we
do
go
the
to Bronco.
dumpster. We
No.
don't
God,
want to do,
no.
I don't want to do a dumpster,
You're
so I
gonna
want
have
to
that
take
thing
that
filled.
right off.
I agree.
Okay,
I move we go to, Vaco too.
I'll second.
all right. All those in favor of any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of using Bonko 2, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So are you guys gonna get a count there? When I go to the yard, I can say Orrock Township, and they'll look at me like,
He said we already have them.
okay.
Oh, you do? We do?
Good job.
I think we dumped that boat there, that someone dumped on our road.
Yeah.
If you can get them signed.
Okay,
You can't do it.
all right. Board business, Adams,
Nothing.
Ellender.
Just that I attended a meeting last night at Open Forum, it was very informative, it was standing room only, and there were a lot of people that are up for election there, but it was an open meeting, a lot of open discussion, and it's interesting what's happening with our dependents, and I know you were there also. I think people need to be aware of what's going on and how our senior citizens that are, or younger, that need help, are, the organizations are being affected. Is that the best terms of it? Ann was there too.
It's actually those with disabilities, whether
Yes.
they be physical or mental disabilities. I'm not sure many of those providers work for elderly, but it is for, it was options in Big Lake, where many people we know have children or are using their services. But yes,
But there was a lot of in-home or units, people that were there, that raised their hands and talked about how they were taking care of 7 or 8 people.
Mhm.
And how it's, June 30th was the deadline for most of those people. And some have been trying to be approved for, what, a year and a half, I think, with one person.
so there's been some issues with the Department of Human Services at a state level, that people needed to be recertified for their licensure in their DHS, and they submitted their stuff, and the deadline came and went. Their stuff had been submitted, and DHS just never got to approving them, so their funding was cut. And so many people that had places like Options, where they run the Blackbird Cafe coffee cart inside the government center. They just opened a laundromat in Big Lake with the 2 apartments above it.
They clean.
They what? They clean our place here.
And they have a
Um,
lot
they,
of employees right there in the building.
they have their own employees, and they also have, adult daycare, there for people with mental disabilities or physical disabilities. So it was held at their facility, however, there were people there from multiple counties, multiple levels of government, well, not state, other than our representative and our senator, a couple senators and a couple representatives. multiple county level commissioners, all the way from Benton and Wright and Sherburne. City officials were there, mayors were there, city councils. I think Paul and I were the only township that I recognized that were there. And then a lot of concerned citizens. Some people have nothing to do with options, other people have a lot to do with options. But either way, they were concerned about the services being cut. Luckily, options got, DHS got a lot of pressure very quickly, very fast from the legislature or from Senator Matthews and Representative Mecklen, and at the very last minute, they got approved. Imagine how that happened.
The day of the meeting.
So, they're hoping that additional pressures, not necessarily by the community, because as they said, they're already behind. Let's not bog them down with a lot more emails that they have to go through. Let them get to the right emails that they need to be working on and the correct stuff they need to be working on. But the bigger conversation was more about the restructure of DHS as a whole, and that it needs to be more functional. So again, a lot of that has to do with many of the people that were working there no longer work there because they allegedly tattled on what was actually going on there. So whistleblowers left, and now we have problems. So great meeting though, standing room only, full house, and even some of the clients were there, of options were there. So it was very nice for that. What else did you do?
That's it.
That's it, okay. Again, I met with the meeting with the horse group, participated in the Becker Parade, did the SWCD tour, again at the Options Town Hall. I went to the US Highway 10 and 11 open house in Becker. They're gonna be redoing that intersection. And then tomorrow I'll be going to the township training in Albertville. Saturday we'll be participating in the Big Lake Parade. And then July 18th at the Elk River Parade, and we will have a booth at the county fair.
What days are you gonna be there? Or all of them?
All, yep. Next.
My turn. We mean, not the township.
Myself and Greg.
Just,
And, well, no, I'll stop with
I
this
just
one.
don't
Myself and
want
Greg.
people to misinterpret.
Although, I mean, I don't see why the township couldn't come and walk in a parade as your own person, you know, but you guys, but, there's a lot of people not up for election that just parade, so. Just for giggles. All right,
Well, I had 3 trees go down the last couple weeks with storms. 2 of them Daryl took care of, one of them the homeowner took care of. I talked with the homeowner and he took care of it pretty quickly. Had a nice talk with Brent Barr from Barr's Haunted Acres today. I've been trying to get in contact with him because we received a second driveway permit and escrow fund. So I reached out to him and told him that I cannot approve this until he comes and talks to the township board. Because the township board in April and May, I think it was.
at least May for sure.
May
It was
and-
twice.
I think it was
Yeah,
April and
April too,
May.
yeah.
It was April, 'cause that was-
April and
you
May,
weren't here, we did it again.
he was on the agenda and we had questions for him and he did not show. So I told him that we will be putting him on the July agenda and he has to show up
Good for you.
to make it aware. And I made sure that I told him 3 times when the meeting was. So
Okay.
he will probably be showing up in July to answer any questions the board may have on this second driveway.
Perfect.
I will too be attending the legal seminar tomorrow. Looking forward to it. I was at the last one last year, really good seminar. We did have a sign go down. I just Just went and looked at it this afternoon. I found out about it late last night, but 170th Street and 237th sign's gone.
I
The street
was,
sign.
I was approached at the options things by a citizen that the sign was missing, so that's how he got that.
So, but, yeah, I verified it was missing, so we'll get that on the list of things to do. Daryl did last week, take care of the 2 sinkholes over on 180th Street. Both of them got done. One of them needed some extensive work. Lots of stumps. He was pulling stumps out the size of oak trees. They were huge. One of the other holes was just full of brush. Big pile of brush. He's digging it all out. He said that probably next month, then he'll start on the 186th Street project, which is that big sinkhole on 186th Street and a little bit of curbing that needs to be done and paving. He had to make sure to line up the concrete work and the asphalt guys all in one shot, so he goes in there, digs it all up, fixes it, then they're right behind him with the concrete and then the paver to get it all done, so it's done.
That's in the shores?
That's in the short zone. Also, we need Shelley to put on the World Wide Web that July will be ditch mowing. So we will be doing ditch mowing in July, the month of July. So if you could please, Madam Clerk, put that on our website and social media for us, that would be awesome. And then that's all for me.
Dalton?
Nothing for me.
I would say that for the last 4 years, when Greg and I have always participated in the parades, up for election or not, just to represent the township.
I didn't mean it, I was
But
talking
I'm
about
just-
a booth.
I know, but,
That
and we've done,
wasn't the
and we've done
township.
that.
Yeah, no, I got you said. It was good clarification.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I just-
we've done that before, so it has been something that we've done year over year, mostly to give constituents a chance to ask us questions, come up.
I think Paul was just saying that Orrock Township
No.
is not there with a booth.
That's what I was.
But, whether or not it's important that we get out there and we participate in our community's stuff, so. Can you turn that off?
You're not 6'5".
All right, treasurer business, item number 11.
With the cash control statement, you will see the balances there for each one of our funds for this last month. And, just looking for approval or any questions. And then with the, I sent over an updated investment form for you today after adding the additional claims, so that is added on there also. So that is what I am looking for, is a transfer, and actually with the deposit, we'll be moving that into the money market instead. That's the planned deposit for this month.
Have you gotten any more further information about the guaranteed coverage from Sherwood Bank?
For the pledge, yes. So I sent that updated to you. And so,
But it's on the right line now, so the auditors are happy?
yep, and I got that, finding removed.
Thank you.
Good job, Kelly.
So yeah, so I've updated that also with the pledge and stuff for you.
You need a motion on the cash control?
I'm getting there, Brian.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, I'm just letting her finish.
So other than that, I'm just looking for that request to transfer the $338,987.32 over to the money market, and then the $42.59, which is a quick transfer from the check together.
Okay, can I get a motion for what she just acknowledged she needed?
So moved.
Thank you. Brian and Paul, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Continuing on.
And then the treasurer's report that is showing where our balances are with each one of the funds, and the statement beginning, those that are still, this first one's out and stuff yet too, but it's showing at least our total balance, and that has been balanced with CTAS and
All right, anything further, Matt Kelly? All right, I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Second by Dalton, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Report of the April Sherburne Securities and Pledge Validation, you mentioned that just a moment ago, if you could
Yep.
continue.
So, with that pledge, originally I had sent it over, with the money market listed down below. That was showing that we were short, but I have gotten confirmation from both the auditors and, Rachel with the bank and stuff like that, to know that we can move it back up and we are covered.
Thank you very much.
For their rules and stuff that way.
Okay. Announcements, Madam Clerk?
July board meeting will be Wednesday, July 22nd at 7 PM. Candidate filing dates are Tuesday, July 14th through Tuesday, July 28th at 6 PM. So anybody who wants to run, come and see. Primary election is Tuesday, August 11th.
Anything further, anything that was not on the agenda that would want to be added? Announcement-wise? Nothing?
I'm going to the update tomorrow too. Do you want to pool ride?
I found out I'm not signed up. I thought I was, so
Or you're not signed up?
apparently I'm not signed up and it was full.
Are you signed up?
If you want to go, I'll back out.
It was full, it was
Yeah, it's full.
full
But
almost
if you want
immediately.
my spot, you can, if you, I mean, I've been to quite a few of them. If you feel like you need to go, it's up to you.
And I let you know tonight. You
Yeah.
can ask her, see if she's
No,
at
that's
work.
fine. No, that's
I think she's
fine.
gonna be in the office tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
I'll text you for sure.
yeah, just let me know.
You- So it's just you and I?
Well, it may be me, it may be Dalton.
But the three of you are signed.
Yeah,
wanna
I'm
ride
gonna drive
together?
myself.
Pete,
I'm good.
you can drive yourself? You
Yeah, I
wanna-
can drive myself.
I'm gonna run errands on the way there and the way back.
Same here.
I was gonna say, if I go, I definitely have to,
Yeah,
just for
I,
baby reasons.
if I leave the area, I want my car to
Sure.
drop back.
Appreciate
drop off
the help.
stuff. All right. Anything else? All right, I make motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, non-debatable. Is this $8,000?
Yeah.
So blank.